Alrighty, hey there everyone. We're finally back with some more Minecraft again today. Last time we dug a big hole for 5 hours, and that was pretty much it. So, yep, you can see we now have a bubble vader, two-sided bubble vader that goes all the way down to the bottom of the world and basically to the top of the world. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Otherwise, let's see here. We've got all of our different pickaxes, we've got all of their cool stuff, and what we're really trying to do today is just decorate basically our house now, because we finally have the time and place and space, frankly, to actually decorate everything. So I've already got a basic little foundation set up with the floor here, but we need a crap ton of spruce wood to actually do anything useful with it. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to pop on down into the world and we're going to go obliterate a couple spruce trees. And by a couple, I mean a lot. And I should also go to a desert and go steal all of its glass and sand because I need a ton of that too. And I'm going to get a bit of coarse dirt here before I forget as well because I never replaced the coarse dirt that grew the dark oak trees that I have. So let's go ahead and just take that half stack. There we go. And, I mean, I guess while we're up here, we'll go ahead and run some additional bits and bobs out there. Now, we ought to have a sapling chest. Here we go. Take all those, take all those. We got those. And we can keep those for now. Those are fine. Also, check out our food chest to see what we've got cooking food-wise. We got some steak, but I really want some golden carrots more than anything right now, so we're going to take some time to pop on over to the trading hall and go get some more food, because I need it. Oh, we ain't going to do that quite yet. Instead, we're just going to focus on planting everything, and yeah. Let's go ahead and drop on down here real quick. There we go. So you can see that we still need to fill that up a little bit better, but wait a minute. Okay, Amshikinoko, good. Very important, obviously, but we go ahead and take a quick, oh, excuse me, take a quick peek downstairs. Yeah, I didn't think about this hard, did I? Yeah, like I was saying, we take a quick peek downstairs. You ought to be able to see that we dug out the first circle. This is a 7 chunk by 7 chunk circle that will go down another 50 blocks into the world. If I can dig it that far. That's the fun part, is seeing how far I can dig this thing. And ideally, we're going to dig a big fucking hole going all the way down to bedrock, basically. And it will be our actual base. Yep, so this was a very good idea. I don't regret anything. And it'll only take at least a couple of months to do, probably. But once it's done, we will have a very cool base that we can work with a lot of extra space, plenty of space for a bunch of farms and a whole bunch of other bullshit, and that'll be pretty fun. So let's go ahead and throw some extra crap away for now. And let's just plant some trees. We just need to plant a couple of dark oak trees. There we go. And some pale oak as well. There we go. And we can go ahead and cut these down. I think today as well we'll try and get some netherite, but we really need like a netherite upgrade template because we just physically don't have any yet, and that's kind of making things a little tough. So, but for now, let's focus on just cutting down our trees nice and simple and see what we can get. I'm mainly focused on just decorating the first floor of my base for today, so we're going to fill in our storage areas that we have set up, make those look pretty, and then we're basically going to be filling in the rest of that first floor with proper base stuff, your furnaces and, actual expanded storage and some proper decoration. Probably an enchantment room set up in there, that would be good too. Technically, I could install an XP farm in there since there's so much space to work with. That could actually be pretty useful, but we'll see about doing something like that. But yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff we can get done. We have a lot of space to work with up in that middle floor that we have, so that'll be pretty cool. I don't really plan on doing a lot with the calcite floors since that's really more of a elevator layer just to get up higher, so that's probably going to remain empty for pretty much the whole time. Got my cat laying on me. He's being a bit of a fat ass, so look at him go. He's just a little guy. Yeah. Oh, you're so stupid, Georgie. What am I going to do with you? But yeah, we've got a little bit of building to do today. And I don't necessarily know what I want to build with other than the spruce wood to finish up the storage area and some basic bedroom stuff. Um, and yeah, you know, it's a little subtle, but you can see our base from here, so we definitely do have a crap ton of space to fill. Mainly good for storage more than anything else, especially as we build up some of the higher floors. That will hopefully get us enough space to do stuff with. Georgie, what are you doing? Come on, buddy. We could also take a peek back through that ancient city today and maybe build a portal down to the other ancient city that we discovered, because we're overdue for exploring that. In fact, we never even really set foot in the trial chamber either beyond the initial, like, slime chunk one, so we'll have to, I guess, make a little bit of a bucket list of things we want to do, put it on a board somewhere, and then just do it, you know? But I think today it's going to be a lot of building, and it's going to be probably netherite gathering, I would say. You know, we don't tend to go in the nether too often. I feel like that'd be a nice change of pace to try and go on out into the world and get a hold of some soul speed and some netherite. Especially soul seed. Speed, because I don't have any of it at all, and it gets very annoying traversing the nether without it, so we'll have to make an effort to go get some of that. Come on now. There we go. But yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff we can do, so. Alright, and we are already out of space basically, so we'll gather up whatever we can, but we're gonna need to put down a shulker box real quick. I'll just set one there. There we go. I still need to eventually work on the Omni Farm designs a little bit more, but it's tough also determining what exactly I really want in them, you know? I think a sheep farm is a little bit too condensed to, like, look good, be maneuverable, and also it's, you know, a little goofy to have that many sheep in that tiny of an area, so I'll see if I can convert some of the moss layers into a proper sheep farm, but I'm not quite too sure yet what I want to do. Or maybe I could dig out a little bit more around the base and try and install an actual proper sheep farm going all the way around, because we still have to have enough space for all 16 sheep colors, so. Although, not to mention, too, it will lag the shit out of my base if too many of them are too close, so we do need to be a little mindful of what, you know, that would even look like. I mean, even just having 10 sheep of each color is 160 sheep, you know, 16 by 10. But that's already quite a lot, frankly, so not too sure how I feel about that one. I mean, you know, maybe I could run it. I could probably do it. May get a new graphics card at some point, but that's probably like at least a year from now, so. And I don't even know really what I would do, because I don't know if at that point I would go for like a bit more of a bigger upgrade with that, or if I would just say fuck it and just try and build a new PC, because I'm using AM4 right now, and you know, there's only so much you can do with it after a certain amount of time as everything transitions to AM5 and whatnot, but Honestly, a lot of my specs are still really good. It's just, you know, gotta do a little bit more because I try to run everything at a 32 chunk render distance like a stupid person, so that didn't help me out too much there, unfortunately, but that's alright. We'll keep letting those grow out. Those can grow. Bees I ain't too worried about. I guess we'll go in there and just take their honey while we're thinking about it, because, you know, since we're already up in the area. There we go. And let's see here. It got us another couple honey blocks, so nothing too stellar, but it's better than nothing, right? The new Pokemon game as well is coming out in the next couple of days here, if I'm not mistaken, on Thursday. It's currently Monday, December 13th, 2025, so yeah, only about 3 more days. I will probably stream on Thursday, pretty much as soon as I get home from work, so that'll be fun. Look forward to that. The first time I really sit down and play a different game other than Minecraft for a little while, instead of just a one-off, so that'll be fun. But, you know, it's a ways away. You don't worry about it for now. Anywho, let's go ahead and start using up some of our wood here, I guess. So, I guess what we really want to do is just kind of mark out where or what we even want to do with certain things. Because I've got no fucking idea really what I'm looking for out of these kinds of areas at the moment. So, except for maybe like more storage, as vague and as stupid as that sounds. So, yeah, we have a lot here, but you know, then what, right? I'm gonna run out pretty quick. So, I feel like what I'm gonna do instead is we want to make sure we leave enough space here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we can park it up to there, and I would feel comfortable with that. Okay. Alright, I think I got a rough idea of what I want to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand our storage out a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. And we're basically going to have like a flat platform here. That'll be good for standing. And then we'll have a bit of a larger area out over here. We'll make sure to take all this out. That was the wrong bit. Perfect timing. Good thing I did that. And I think you can already see the idea here. So we got 4 blocks in between. And then it starts here, so we can go ahead and stretch this out. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna also leave the glass exposed for now, since I don't want to actually have to dig up my whole floor to try and figure out where it is, but just know we will come back through at some point and stack that up another layer so it's flush a little bit better. But we're not gonna worry about that for now, because we ain't gotta. So there we go, we got a little something like that. And then, I guess additionally, I could have some kind of nook here or something with a little bit of extra space if I want to have a little bit extra hidden storage or something, but I don't probably need to worry about that right this second, so I won't. Look at how easy it is to just be like, I'm not going to worry about this thing because I can't do anything about it right now. What? No way. It is truly that simple. And there we go. I'll go ahead and strip these out. Go. Number 2. are going to have to move some of our other things around here a little bit more. And additionally, I also want this floor to be a little different, but I don't know what I want it to be. This cobbled deep slate wouldn't hurt. We do have a nice chunk of it, right? So probably do polished deep slate because I think that'll look a little bit prettier. So we'll just stick with polished for now. There we go. Do a little something like that. That gives me a little bit more space to work with. And then wait a second. You almost had me, but you didn't. There we go. A little something like that. And that also gives us our layer there as well. Great. Think of symmetry, I guess we'll stack these up. And then we'll fill that in with something else, fucking know. That'll be like part of our inner wall, so it's fine. In fact, what we'll probably end up doing is we'll seal this in completely with cobblestone. And then, yeah, we'll seal it with cobblestone, and then we'll have an actual false wall there. Am I stupid? Did I build those on the wrong height? Am I going insane? Hang on a second. Or let me specify, am I dumber than normal? Let's start with that. The answer is no, not this time at least. I have to use up most of my thinking power while I'm at work usually, so as soon as I get home, there's usually none of it left for anything. So, yep, trying to get a little better at that. Been a lot better than my old job, that's for sure. So, it does get better. But it does take a hell of a lot of work though to get there. That should be stretched across, and we will go ahead and pick up some cobblestone. I think we're out of cobblestone. We might need to get a little bit more. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like we're out. Dang. Oh, shoot. Let's see here. That has an actual proper ceiling that we will decorate an arch probably, so we're not going to worry about that for now. Just, yeah, there we go. And we'll just pillar up like a smart person. And by smart person, I mean a complete buffoon because I totally biffed on that, but... And that. Not quite ready there. There we go. This is where we actually want to be, up on this layer. Remember, this is kind of like an actual divider floor, so this isn't the actual ceiling, this cobblestone that we're placing, but rather this divides the first layer of our house basically with the second layer. And we can have about 4 to 5 layers of our house pretty comfortably. It'll be about 10 blocks tall, and if I want to go that high, realistically there'll be a partition closer to like 5 or 6 blocks tall. So definitely plenty tall and roomy with like a ton of different bits and pieces, but nothing like this. And this is a more of an exception bit for storage, so this is a little different, but who knows, I might decide that I like it, keep it, so we'll see. Alright, let's go get some more cobblestone real quick, and we will cut this pillar out in the meantime. Right, and additionally, we want to work on that false wall that we were talking about before. So let's go ahead and seal all of this in. Something like that. There we go. That'll give us plenty of space to probably throw in some furnaces or something, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I can't exactly use a full 4 wide, so probably would have to be furnaces. I could probably throw in a bunch of extra storage here, and then have like a little spot here. I can break it in the cubby. I've got a whole furnace wall here. That would be good. We really should go get some ladders at some point too, because we haven't done that yet. And I really need to fix that soon, because I keep thinking I'm about to walk into the rest of the world because the glass is actually transparent. So, but we're not quite that stupid. We did make sure to actually seal everything off, so we should be fine. Great, there we go. Got that all fully sealed off. And go ahead and seal the corners. And do a little bit more lighting, and boom, there we go. Maybe I should have the floor be out of like spruce stuff, and then the ceiling could be made out of deep slate. Maybe that would look a little bit better. But I feel like it's a little bit too dark on the floor when everything's, not that everything's bright per se, but like this is definitely lighter, and so is the actual like support beams compared to everything else. So I think we'll go with that. Alright, let's see what that's gonna look like then. Where we'll put some more deep slate variants, that's all good. And then wood-wise, we have a ton of different wood we could use for a lot of the floors, but not quite sure what I want to do yet. So for now, why don't we just pop on over and peruse a little bit and see what we can do. Oh wait, I should have plenty of, yeah, I was about to say, should have plenty of trapdoors. And ladders, I just saw them. Here we go. That'll get us enough ladders and trapdoors to finish this stuff off. Something like that. There we go. There we go. So we'll do a little something like that. Yeah, that'll get us a nice little shelf there. I should have grabbed a little bit more, but that's fine. And that definitely makes getting up and down a lot easier. But let's go ahead and get some more spruce slabs real quick, because we are definitely going to need them. There we go. We'll do a little something like that. And we'll go grab some of our spruce slabs that we have left over. Let's see here. There we go. Nice little chunk. We got our shulker box there too that we can put some stuff down in. And then this will mainly be our furnace wall. At least that's what I want for it right now. So let's go ahead and grab some of our furnaces. Now, I do vaguely remember we had put them in a way in a bit of a weirder chest, and this was the one. Now, grab those two. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and just dump in a bunch of furnaces. I want to mix in some blast furnaces and smokers here too. So for now, it's going to be all of that. Switch out those. We'll keep the remaining furnaces in here, which we will eventually cook into blast furnaces, which will be fine. And then flooring here, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Because I also wanted to match on this side too, so we should be a little mindful of, I guess, what we use specifically when it comes to wood. Ooh, pale oak. Yeah. Yeah, we should use some stripped pale oak. I think that would look good. Good answer, Steve. I don't get to build with pale oak too often, so this will be a little interesting. And you know, we're just sticking very simple here with our little crosshatch pattern that we have, so nothing too difficult, just something we gotta do. Yeah, I'm liking that pretty well. Nice. Pretty big fan of that. Cool. So that gets us a nice little bright area to do and have. That means we can tuck that away in there. We'll tuck that in there and there. And we're gonna pop on back. Where was it? Here it is. To get our polished deep slate, and so we can fill in the ceiling. We'll go ahead and just fill in the ceiling, and then we will put down some lanterns. We'll suspend some lanterns from some walls out of the ceiling so we get a little bit more depth. There we go. Here we go. And let's go ahead and get a little bit more up here. Cobblestone out here in a moment. For now, let's just go ahead and get that out. And there we go. Let's go ahead and get our cobblestone. Here, how did I say I wanted to do this? We'll have another batch of furnaces as well, because I kind of need them. When we get to smelting sand, we're gonna definitely need a lot of furnaces, so I'd rather overinvest in it than underinvest right now. Alright, and then, yep, Sandio would have a tall line of furnaces, which we will grab a little bit more cobblestone for. There we go. That should get us enough. Could also probably put in a crafting table again. We'll set it like there or something for now. And we'll make half a stack of furnaces. And then, of course, we're going to use the remainder for blast furnaces and smokers. So that way we still have enough on each section. And let's see here. Tuck that away. Give me some of that. Alright, those need to come with me here. There we go. Do a little something like that. Already been half an hour, if you could believe it, so I've been doing this for quite a while already. And I mean, yeah, that looks solid, so that's cool. I'll move this out of the way a little bit more. Yeah, put these down. And then we'll put this down over here. There we go. So some amount of symmetry still looks cool. Like it. Alright, and then as for the ceiling, a little bit of lighting. Oh, right, I have some lanterns left over at the trading hall. Why don't we make a quick pit stop there then, and get what we can. So we'll go pick up some extra food, we'll go pick up some glass, and we'll just kind of head over there and trade for some carrots as well. And we'll just kind of stock up on everything. See, our spruce trees grew back again, so we'll have to make sure to take some time to harvest those as well. It's been a little bit. I ain't been that long, but it's been long enough for them to grow, so I'm sure it counts. Just out of curiosity, if I show hitboxes here, it doesn't look like anything's out here, which is good, so we do need to light all this up at some point, but we don't have to worry about that for now. And yeah, we'll just hop on food, go get some food, go get some glass, go get some lanterns. I'm a little short on emeralds because of all the enchanting I did, though. That is the one thing I will say, so that's the tough part. I may have to explicitly re-roll when I start stocking up on villagers again. I may need to re-roll for another efficiency 5 villager that's way cheaper, because I don't think that's too viable long term. That was more of a different thing. Oh, these have oxidized finally. Okay, well anyways, yeah, these have oxidized since the update. Forgot about that. I think the update makes all of them oxidize instantly or something like that, because I definitely have not been in this area long enough to justify that. Additionally, too, it seems like we'll have enough econ at least for food, but we may not for a lot of other things because we haven't been back here in a little while. So they'll have to re-sleep again for us to get more. Let's see how we're doing. Good bit of iron, so we can trade for some emeralds here very nicely. We'll also take this chance to get our stuff all fixed up as well. And yeah, we're just gonna blow all this iron basically on emeralds because I can. I don't know about making a raid farm. I might. I'm thinking about it, but I realistically won't because then I actually have to go and AFK at it. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's just, you know, I don't really use them for enough anymore to really care about them that hard. So Like the emeralds are always like a good thing to get out of them, and I guess the witch drops too, but you know, now with how mechanics have changed, so now it's like bottle based with the ominous bottles. It's just, yeah, whatever. So not bad though. Probably will do it at some point, but that's gonna be like a later farm versus a farm I'm gonna like actively grind towards early, you know. I really don't want it that bad. Make sure we get a shulker box out, and we'll go ahead buy another batch of these. There we go. Right, cool. We got 2 stacks of golden carrots and 2 stacks of emeralds left. So we'll buy up whatever glass we can. Yeah, we'll buy up whatever glass we can and see what we can do. I also need to label these guys as enchantments at some point. I haven't actually done that yet, surprisingly enough. And we'll spend the rest. There we go. So that'll hold us over for a little while. It won't do us too good, but it's better than nothing. So we'll put the excess away and we'll take a stack of lanterns. We can make them at home for like pretty cheap too, but since we've already got them here, we may as well use them, right? And then of course we've got our extra fortune, breaking 3 and mending books, so that way we can craft a whole bunch more tools and stuff at some point, because we're definitely going to need it for shovels as well when we go sand mining, so that's going to be a whole nother ordeal in and of itself, but we don't need to worry about that yet. Otherwise, everything here is still holding up very well, so again, a very nice solid breeder with no issues. I guess other than overpopulation, but that's an issue everywhere, so that doesn't really count. And then otherwise, the actual structure has been very well maintained. It looks good. And everything else has been flowing pretty well with it, so not too bad. Let's go ahead and pop out our boat, though, and head on back to base here real quick. Go ahead and pop on over here. There we go. And we'll just take a quick flight up. Doing down there fairly well. Got a good bit of sheep in there. Alright, let's see what we can do. Can do anything, that is. Tough part is really going to be figuring out where we even want lanterns, honestly. I'm not too particularly sure. Just gonna hang them off at these for now, and we're not gonna ask too many questions for the time being. You know, when I eventually say, man, this shit sucks, then we'll change it, but I'm not, like, you know, I'm not there yet, so I don't need to worry about that for now. The other tough part, too, is because of how these are laid out. Guess we could do that, I don't know. I'm not going to think too hard about it, like I said, so we're just going to place them down. Be happy we got some better lighting. And then we can cover up the floor a little bit nicer. Have they added another way to get brown dye yet? I think it's still just cocoa beans, right? Seems kind of fucked up. And yeah, for these, we'll just, I don't know. We could probably glass it, but we'll kind of have to, I guess. It's just at some point we'll probably come back. Don't break the glass that it's sitting on. Just break the torch. We'll come back through and we'll probably re-dye like the glass with some extra dye, so it maybe blends a little bit better. Or maybe we'll put in some carpet or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out one day. I'm not too worried about it right now, though. We got plenty of lighting in this area. Still looks good. Lanterns do a very good job of actually holding everything there. Granted, there are probably better ways to do this, but I cannot be asked right this second to do it, so I won't. And it's truly that simple. Same deal, we need to pad those out at some point too. And then don't forget, we still have... that's right. Well, I guess it hardly does matter for these. Because if we're going to be putting our chest here against this wall, then yeah, we actually would need to get rid of these outer ones. So we can only afford the other ones that we have that are in a little bit more. That's fine, but let's throw those away there. There we go. Go ahead and get some extra spruce wood and our other bits and bobs. And let's go build this out on the other side. If I remember how to measure anything at all. See, that's the fun part. I don't. Except there's a 5 block gap between the side and that, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would go here. As well. And this is where it lines up. Beacon, that's cool, I guess. Alright, and then we need to work on cross stitching again. So let's go ahead, get that going. We seem to have made a bit of a minor mistake here, but that's alright. Should be an easy fix. Here we go, we'll do a little something like that, and then additionally, I think today's stream is going to be a little bit shorter. I'm not really feeling like doing a whole bunch today, so we'll probably stream for like another hour or something, and then we'll call it there. A lot of it's just going to be building and mining and shit, so it's nothing too remarkable, but it's about doing steady progress here for something like this versus trying to get everything done in one spurt for right now. It gives me some time to actually sit down and think of new ideas and actually do different things, you know. It all evens out, I promise. But there we go, we got a hold of that. Put this up a little bit. Good. Right, we still need to finish that back wall a little bit more. Good. There we go. Do a little something like that for now. Then we're gonna go ahead and go pick up some extra cobblestone and pale oak wood, which actually the pale oak was on the other side. Yeah. And just out of curiosity, what does our cobblestone physically sit at? I physically stand up on a cobblestone layer. My feet are at Y179. That means we have to build this up one more block. And that gives us our goalpost for here. Now let's just go ahead and build up all of our pillars first. Having an elytra does make things a little bit easier, since we can just glide pillar to pillar. That there it hardly mattered, but that's fine. Everything's aligned because I am a little slow today. Yep, and let's make sure we got all of our lighting in place too. We'll need to go back and get more cobblestone for sure, but that's fine. I got more than enough of it, so no rush. Already been almost 50 minutes, if you can believe it. Only 7:40 tonight, too. I think getting this new job really was what I needed. Time's actually been, like, flowing a lot better. Work goes by a lot faster, and, you know, my home life actually feels a lot better to go through. So it has been a real blessing to get this job, but let's see here. We are also gonna need those and those and those. We need to pick up more of that, but we're not there yet. Alright, let's tuck some of those away. And yet we do actually fill those with slabs, so that's good. Alright, and then we need to inset the roof with polished deep slate. So make sure we do that real quick. Oh, and also we need to set up the support beams as well, which we may or may not run out of wood to do, so we need to bear that in mind additionally. Where did I put my trapdoors? Probably left them back in that shulker box, didn't I? That's tough. Oh well. Or send them to hell, apparently. They're not in anything. That is super weird. What did I do with them? Huh. Well, oh well. We'll find them when we find them. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Granted, they can't be that far away, but sure, fuck it. Ah, second bundle, right. Forgot I had that. And speaking of bundles, rather, speaking of storage, go ahead and seal all of this off. Create this little cubby again. There we go. My mouse froze for a little bit there. There we go. Got as many wood logs as we can hold for now. Go. Then we've just got a little bit more to do here. There we go. And then we've got our last support beam we gotta put in place. Alright, cool. So now all we gotta do is the roof and the last large floor. Let's go ahead and pop on over and get a little bit more. I was already there, a little dumb. Let's get some glass. There we go, do a little something like that. And then what I'm eventually going to have to decide on too is if I want to center the, if I really want to center the glass grid a little differently or not, because that's also another thing I've kind of been thinking about a little bit here. So I've been working, but we're not at that point yet for me to worry. I think it still looks fine. It's just something to keep in mind. Let's go ahead and lay on the floor real quick. Down, but sure, whatever. Alright, let's see here. Logs. There they go. And let's go ahead and pop up into the roof here real quick. Go lay this thing down. Lay logs. I think we hang these up last time. Yep, 2 blocks out and then 1 block in. So 2 blocks out, 1 block in. Yep. There we go. Got our lighting back in place, and yeah, that gets us this area fully done. Go ahead and put a stone cutter down here or something. And then same deal, big ass furnace wall when we inevitably get around to it. And we also need to, and I should have enough wood for this. I got enough. Yeah, it's fine. Make a stack of chests. Get a hold of whatever else we can. Well, this is definitely a little less than 100 chests. I think we're okay. Probably. There we go. Perfect. So that gets us the rest of our storage area too, so we get a lot more space for a lot of stuff. And then I guess we can also land whatever we want to go on that side. I'm probably going to do some kind of fencing, and in fact we actually have a couple of oak fences that we could use. Add another little bit of color. And it's good to add in like a little bit extra depth too for something like this, so here we go. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Remember, I know this looks awkward with this being a raised platform, but just keep in mind this whole thing is going to be on this level. So it's not going to be on this cobblestone level, it's going to physically be up here. And then the cobblestone is going to act as a buffer layer when we get around to that. Oh yeah, that's our non-cobble one. Maybe we'll make these different colors, like the main like layers of wood for like the flooring, so that way at a glance I can tell, hey, which one's like my pretty building blocks like area and like the natural stuff, and which one's the I need a fuck ton of storage to put away a bunch of cobblestone area. So I think those are both equally valid to have. It's just I gotta have space to have them, you know. But you know, those are small quality of life things that we tend to figure out as time goes on. So we don't need to know them straight away or anything. It's just something that we should keep an eye out for and keep in mind as we keep working. But it's nothing to worry about for now. Alright, there we go. Got all that in place. I do like the vibe of it though. I think this was a very good choice of black palette. I think it's pretty cozy. The lanterns added quite a good bit. The actual layout is nice, along with what I'm going to be putting in. I think the flooring could use a little work, but I think that's mainly because the glass sticks out like a sore thumb. So we need to come up with a solution to get sunlight all the way down there. But maybe that's more of a different problem for a different me, a different day, because I sure as hell am not solving that today. as a big logistical problem that will take quite a lot of time and planning to even understand what I gotta do. So, but what that's gonna mean basically is we're probably gonna cut out all of these and then we're gonna center on the center axis and then we'll grid from there, I think. We'll try and build like a proper grid of glass based off of what we do for our center axis. So I think there is a solid idea. It's just it needs to be done a little differently, unfortunately. Which, you know, it's fine. These things do happen. Wasn't planning on exactly going through and fixing all of it per se, but at the same time, I kind of did know realistically that that was going to change because it just kind of had bugged me a little bit as we've been building. So I've been aware of it. I just haven't wanted to do anything with it yet. We should be able to. Oh, right. We don't have to see rain anymore because we sealed off the top with glass. Forgot about that. Let's see here. Where do we want to put our bed? I think I want to flex a little bit and I want our bed to be way up at the top. Let's see here. I had a calcite chest. Yep. I'm going to take some calcite. We'll tuck it away with our glass. And we'll keep the fences for now, just to be safe. That's coming with me. And I think what I want is, I want the bedroom to be up the very tippy top here. Because I want to flex. So here's what we're going to do. Now we'll switch these out with something else later. I do want some actual like walling here. So we will hopefully be able to avoid falling off, but I don't think this is it right this second. So let's just keep it very simple for now and just build a little dome. We got some calcite. We have a pretty good idea of where we can build the pillar bits. I think we'll do 8 blocks because I can. I want to be a little extra today. This was not my greatest idea. I'm sure it'll be fine. Did not run out of calcite already. I just did not stock up enough of it, apparently. Much like the smart person that I am. And additionally, we don't have a lot of building blocks, so spruce logs it is. Really should use my scaffolding. I spent a lot of time making and hoarding, but no, that would be smart, so I can't do that right now. Let's pull up plots modeler really quickly, so let's see here. Can I do a semi-sphere? can try, but we're gonna have to get kind of creative here. So let's see here. That's 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Duh. Alright, let's do 15 block diameter sphere. Okay, so we just built layer number 8, basically. So what we're going to do now is go up to layer 9. Which is just going to be repeating what we did. Oh, cool. Thunder. And let's see here. You want to go... little something like this. Then fill in our corners. Then 11 is going to be there we go. I'll leave the torches there as well, so that way we get some extra lighting up at the top. How are we doing on calcite? Pretty good. We'll definitely have enough to finish this because it does get smaller per layer. But at some point I would also like to switch over to glass, so... But I think I'll leave the glass switch for probably another day. Let me see what this looks like. So we do build that just straight on top of what we got. There we go. We're getting there. I mean, we could just end it there in terms of, like flattening out the roof with just like a flat patch of glass. I think that's what we'll do. I think we'll just flatten the top with, nah, 'cause I feel like it's not curved in quite enough. Well, shit, I don't know. I could probably just flatten out with glass by now. Okay, we'll do one more layer of calcite, and then we'll flatten it out with glass. I think it's fair. Still doing good on calcite. That's good. But then, yeah, we'll just go ahead and flatten out the top with glass. There we go, do something simple like that. Hmm. Yeah, and then we're definitely going to have to use the rest of it for kind of cleaning up some of the corners here a little bit better. Yeah, we'll do something like that for now. I'm not gonna think too hard about it again. We'll like rarely be up here, if ever, so it's not something we have to give a whole bunch of thought to. course, that doesn't mean I get to be lazy with it or anything either. It just means that if something feels a little awkward, then, forget about it. Don't think too hard about it, and then you're going to drive yourself nuts otherwise. So, yeah, I think those should be evened out flat. So we'll work on that here in a little bit. I'm surprised I could actually have reached that. There we go. And then we've just got the last one to seal in. Yeah, we'll just do something like that. It's just something a little simple. And then I guess we could have it for either of these ends too. We'll be just shy of what we're looking for, but honestly, I don't really care, so looks fine. And we can go ahead and we'll put the bed like here. Should also get an ender chest at some point up here, but it's cool. We get to see the sunset. That looks cool. And then otherwise, he pops up over there. Otherwise, as the moon is rising too, or as the moon is setting, we'll be able to see it here. Or alternatively, we can have it point out here. I mean, otherwise, from up here, we can see out pretty damn far. You can see over our entire base and all over my mountain range and everything above it. And it looks cool. And we'll also take a peek outside. Let's go to this cherry grove out in the distance. We'll land up on like that oak tree there, I think. That'll be good. You can already see it from here. Now again, it's a flat wall right now and I get that, but once we get some proper decoration in there, I think it'll look good. Especially once we like beef up the sides a little bit more of the white part. Again, I know it looks kind of thin and like goofy, but you gotta trust the process with something like this, alright? It's pretty cool though. Does not look like a dick because I flattened it out in time. So we're okay with that. But yeah, I think the big thing will be creating a kind of like transitionary circle up on that layer or padding it out in some kind of way. So that way it physically slopes a little differently, or maybe we'll cover it with some of our different trees and stuff as well. So that way there's kind of like a ring behind it of trees to make it look pretty. Um, But yeah, realistically, I think there's plenty we can do to kind of brush it out. But it is a pretty cool looking base for now. Looks nice. I'm a big fan of it personally. Again, I know there's work to be done with actually having some proper decoration and shit up on the walls and not making these so damn flat and bare. I get that. And again, padding that out a little bit more to look a little bit better. But I think the idea is there, and I think it was a really fucking good idea. So, and I'm just saying, look at how the mountains curve around it. You can see like how the not the valley, I guess the plains of it just kind of like settle in, and then it kind of opens up at the foot of the mountains here, straighten up what it could be, and then or what it is, and then we'll probably have like some larger we'll have some larger like doors, I'm thinking, or gates that'll kind of like seal it a little bit better. And then again, as I talked about before, we'll have like a wall that covers the perimeter of that going all the way around so it'll connect up both tips of the mountains. I think that'll make it that much cooler too. And then otherwise, at some point, I eventually want like a ring of clouds going around it in like a semicircle. So similar to how the mountains have like the opening at the front and then the remaining 270 degrees are clouds is basically what I want. So they'll be made out of snow and they'll give us a ton of extra space to have like cool floating buildings and stuff. And I think that would be pretty cool personally. So we'll get to that at some point. But I really do like the way it sticks out of the ground, and I probably would have done a little bit better here if I didn't make it so tall and like I only had it be like 25 blocks up. But again, if we add another ring, probably 25 blocks in, I think we could do pretty good. So we'll see. We'll come up with some way to decorate it, but I think for now it'll do. You know, we're not usually out at this angle anyways, so that's kind of the other deal when it came to building this. But it's a cool ass tall base. You can see too as we kind of get up a little bit higher as well. The greens really pop against like the whites, the grays, and your darks there as well. So it does stand out very nicely. And again, I really do think it is a very cool build. It's just it's gonna need some work, obviously. There's nothing wrong with that, Not everything can look great in a day, and it's not supposed to, but it looks cool, and I think we got a very solid foundation there. And it's really just a matter of fleshing it out to the end and seeing what we can do with it. But yeah, for now, I think that's going to do it for me today. We're going to hop on back up to our bed here, and we'll call it a day there. I know today's stream was a little bit shorter. It was only an hour and a half instead of like 5, my bad, but we got a good bit done. We finished up our storage areas down there and started working our main floor. We got our bedroom done on the tip of the tower, and yeah, we've got quite a lot of work cut out for us that I'm looking forward to. So that being said, it's day 323 in game, and that is going to do it. So thank you all for watching. I hope to see y'all again next time. Bye-bye.